Good afternoon, viewers, wherever you are. Today is World Obesity Day, and as per a study by the Lancet journal, which is one of the world's high impact academic journals, India is sitting on an obesity curve. I am Flora Swai, and you're watching the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express. And today, to discuss this obesity epidemic, we have an expert on the panel, Varsha Gorey, Senior Clinical Dietitian, Apollo Hospitals, Navi Mumbai. Varsha ji, welcome onto the chat today. It's
Hi, you can
not,
just call me Varsha and
yeah, sure.
it will always sound, I'm young.
Yeah. So it is not good news for India health-wise when it comes to obesity. I'm sure you have gone through the journal, gone through the study in the journal. What are your thoughts on it?
Yes, when you read the study, it is pretty scary, but in a way, it is alarming. Alarming because our city is economically growing, and any growing city, country is always exposed to these lifestyle kind of diseases. Obesity is the prime example of this. The more worry is younger children, and a lot post COVID have started getting obese at a higher rate, gaining more than 10% weight in a short span even of 3 to 6 months, which is pretty alarming because it has resulted in a lot of body changes. The biochemical parameters, for example, if you expect a cholesterol high or a fatty liver after age of 40, it is not happening that at such a age, but it's happening much before, say in 20s. So what I would like to comment is that obesity, if you feel that you're growing fat and healthy, otherwise also it is fine. But it is a double burden kind of a scenario wherein you're getting obese, but all your body parameters are not good. They are also looking at undernutrition on one side and overnutrition on one side. That means you may have a low hemoglobin, you may have vitamin D, which is on the lower side. On one side, thyroid coming up, but other side, you have a fatty liver, you have cholesterol issues, and so on.
Absolutely.
I was just
What do you
suggesting
think are the contributing factors that are driving this pattern right now in India?
uh, contributing factors. In fact, there are multiple factors which will drive towards obesity. This being a lifestyle disorder, it doesn't happen overnight. So, first of all, the way the culture goes, you look at the time when you get up. There's no lifestyle, there is no clock. Normally, you say, we used to say an apple a day keeps doctor away. But there are so many saying, let food be your medicine. So, exactly, I would like to point at this that there is no circadian rhythm or there is no body clock. And that is one predominant factor. People eat at any time, sleep at irregular times, overeat, sometimes starve, exposed to so much of processed foods and so on, and then portion control. So they need to have understanding. It's not only a dietitian talking, but they need various expert to to highlight the problem and then take it as a collective team, because it's not a overnight situation, but it is building up over time, and one needs to take care as early as possible.
Absolutely. Now, also, it's a fact that obesity in women has spiked in the past 3 decades. The study says that it has increased from 1.2% in 1990 to 9.8% in 2022. And there were 44 million women living with obesity in last year itself. As compared to men, it has increased by only 4.9%. So, what do you think, is making women a victim sort of, or rather, let's say, what is making women obese
More
as
prone,
compared,
you mean?
yeah,
Prone.
more prone to obesity as compared to.
So I am not too sure about the literature behind this study which you're quoting,
Yeah.
because every country, every city will have a different. Even in India, the geography of our country is different. If you talk about the Western or the Mumbai and the growing cities, people are working, women are working, but same is not the case in rural. So we cannot stamp it and say that women are getting obese. Yes, but there is a theory that why women can get obese compared to, if you compare to men of a similar age. Because if you look at the body type of women, they have more fat mass, hormonal changes happening, less activity in terms of exercise, not exertion, but the exercise. And being a person, being a woman who's taking care of family, sometimes when we observe in our patients how ladies are eating, they are overworked, strained, they're eating from containers, they may stand and eat, they may fast. So there will be multiple points which will really come to pinpoint and say yes, the more obesity is more in women. So my personal opinion is it will vary from the place to another place. You need more studies and you need to have certain factors and then compare whether obesity is more prominent in women or men.
Okay. Apart from women, the study also says that, there is a significant increase in childhood obesity. Kids are getting obese. What are your thoughts on this? What is driving obesity in kids?
Well, I agree to this particular point totally. I have a pediatric patient who is a 2 year old, and the parents came to me for a weight loss plan. I mean, it was really shocking. But when you see the growth charts in the children, the child was obese. And they wanted me to counsel a child. The child had just started a kindergarten. But it's not only about that, this particular kid, the grown up children who are in their, growing age. Now, if you look at children pattern, the requirement of calories much higher, and it's the highest during adolescence. In age 17 to 19 you require highest amount of calories
Correct.
for your growth spurts and all. So
Right.
hunger is there, but along with hunger, what you feed your body is important. So chances of getting obese has multiple factors. It did increase during COVID times because there was lack of activity. I would also blame how parents or the culture is setting, or a discipline pattern is setting in the family of the children who are obese. Are the parents also obese? If the parents are obese, more chances the children are going to be obese because they will follow the same genetic pattern, they will follow the same eating pattern.
Right.
Again, when the peers, youngsters are having lot of parties, late night parties which start only after 11, so they eat the more extra calories than what they are required to eat. Chances of having alcohol, junk food, this all is an added burden. Lack of physical activity, most of them drive, they're not walking, climbing stairs. They are like, when what we were talking before some time about double burden, they're very conscious. So either they will be over conscious and they will starve themselves and go into some crash diet, and then they will leave a diet which will put on weight. So there are many dwelling factors, but the fact remains that youngsters are getting fat by the day. And as I quoted, within 3 to 6 months, they have gained more than 10% of the body weight.
Right. You mentioned that, sometimes people are super conscious and they go onto this crash diets, diet fads that we also call, that come up into the trends. Um, in terms of that, the study also talks about undernutrition and thinness. What do you have to say about that?
So, to rule out undernutrition or thinness, we actually need to look into certain biochemical parameters. Also, we need to do a body composition analysis. So, a body composition analysis, like you and I, we may look a normal BMI, but I'm just quoting because I'm sitting opposite to you. But a body composition analysis tells you what is your body made up of. That means how much is the percentage of water, how much is the fat percent, muscle content, and the skeletal mass.
Right.
So, being conscious or being over conscious causes unhealthy eating, and unhealthy eating causes undernutrition. So, that is how I feel undernutrition is on one side, but because on the other side, they're eating small amount, but they're eating the wrong food. So, that is how we are looking at undernutrition also in people who are driving towards obesity.
Uh, what are the ways in which we can reverse the trend? Because I know, like you said, it's not a It's not an overnight process. It's not like I'll start eating healthy tomorrow onwards, I'll start working out, and within a week I'm going to be fine. But what are the must do's and what are the must don'ts that we can use, or we can incorporate in our lifestyle, so that we can reverse this trend, or at least get on the path of working on it?
Uh, okay. So if I start talking, no, it's going to be quite elaborative. So I would like to list out points. That is how I have kind of made a charting. When I talk to people, they come with lot of queries, but I want to give some take home message. So I would try to we know what is the culprit: the oily food, salts, excess sugars, the cravings, lack of exercise. So to sum it up, let's cut down on salt to 1 teaspoon a day, so that excess of water retention, the craving for salty, crunchy, high fattening food is reduced. So whatever salt you need, you take from your daily diet. Whenever you get the craving to eat salted snacks, you may opt for homemade snacks or buy a packet which is small sized,
Okay.
rather than eating from big packets.
Okay.
Because the trend goes like, buy bigger because it's value deal or something like that. 2 spoons of sugar. Many people don't, they remove the sugar from their diet because they want to eat other sweets, or they want to eat. So whether you choose a mithai or a dark chocolate, something proportion of two teaspoons of a sugar or a jaggery or honey equivalent, because people also have this myth that sugar is bad, but they are allowed to take jaggery. Finally, it comes from the same group.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
2 spoons of sugar per day, 3 spoons of oil. Let there be variety of oil, the cooking oil. Breakfast, you don't need much oil. So whatever oil you require, it can be used for your snack or your sabzi cooking. That's where you mainly need oil. So 3 spoons of oil per day, 4 meals per day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and your mid morning and mid evening, I'm making into half of portion meals, so that you eat a healthy snack in terms of a fruit, dry fruits, nuts, and some crunchy stuff like makhanas, chanas, whatever. So 4 meals a day: breakfast, lunch, 2 mid meals, and a dinner. Early dinners are always better, but we
And
really
not
don't know
skip
how it
meals
suits.
like we do sometimes.
Yes,
If we have had a
yes,
heavy
because
breakfast, we skip lunch. Or if if we have been binging throughout the day, then we skip dinner. So not like that. 4 meals a day, but space it out.
yeah. So and with skip meals, I also like to relate that fasting is a kind of a culture. Fasting always results in feasting because body is deprived of nutrition. So what you need is hydration. In hydration, you drink fluids, you chew your fibrous foods, salads, and there's so much variety in our meals. So you take it that. While I'm talking that, 5 stands for 5 colors of vegetables: green, white, yellow, orange, red, purple. So it's obesity is not just increasing weight on scale, but it causes a lot of change in your biochemical parameters. There is chances of diabetes, there's chances of fatty liver, hormonal issues. So if you take at least this 3 to 5 colors of vegetable, we are sure that diet is fiber rich. It can trap fat, it can make you feel full, and overall your plate size or your portion control can be much better. So for example, if you're eating, normally we give the rule of this and full hand and quarter. So if I'm eating a pizza, or if I'm eating a burger which is this size, or a noodle which is 50 grams, I would go for 200 grams of vegetables. So something like 1:4.
That is the proportion
So
to balance it out.
yes, yeah, you balance it out.
Okay.
6 days of fitness, exercise. Everybody has to work on their body, muscle health, strength, circulation. So 6 days of fitness, good 7 hours of sleep, 8 to 9 glasses of water, and 10 hours of fasting. So if you have your dinner by 8, okay, 8 to 9, you count 10 hours, you can easily manage and have a balanced plate rather than doing a proper intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has its results, but for everyone, intermittent fasting is not their cup of tea. So that is how you can have these 1 to 10 principles for weight management and prevention and control of obesity.
Um, is there any specific thing, because you mentioned that women have their hormonal imbalances and their cycles throughout the month. They have their own nutrition as compared to men and children. Is there any specific uh, nutrition or diet that women should follow, especially during that time when we are PMSing? Because the cravings are mostly when we are PMSing. That is when we go crazy. So, what kind of nutrition we should be keeping in mind, or what kind of diet we should be adhering to when that happens?
Also, when you're talking about this PMS, hormonal issues, food and mood goes hand in hand. I would acknowledge that yes, food and mood goes hand in hand. So you should use your. You may not be able to change your mood, but you can definitely look at the food you choose. So
Absolutely.
you have to check what type of cravings you are. Many times you get cravings for sweet, or you may get a crunchy salted.
Yeah.
So there are so many foods which are available. First of all, whenever you are hungry or you get a craving, we have to think and have a glass of water by your side. So always there should be a bottle and you drink water, a glass of water. As it is, I said you need water over 2 hours, maybe a glass of water. So have a glass of water. Think what you want to eat. Now, even if you feel you're eating something like chanas and jaggery, so simple, economical, easily available, easy to store. You can just crunch it. You get a sweet and salted kind of a mixture, nutritious. You can even make popcorns, which like what you get, like little caramel and a salt. So you get both sugar and salt craving. It's
Yeah.
crunchy. So options we need to list. A right nutrition counselor can help you to deal the pathway. Yes, we it's not to go and just binge on something. There's something known as binging also. There is something known as grazing also. Grazing, what happens is you tend to go and munch in between, which is
Yeah.
not good. Binge eating, you go on gulping, and both of them result into a very bad feeling.
Correct.
Instead, you have a glass of water, you have a fresh fruit, you can have coconut water, you can have buttermilk, spiced or sweetened as a beverage along with your meals rather than going for colas, fizzy drinks, or beverages which are with artificial sweeteners. So, if you are taking a healthy, nutritious beverage and then you are using your food groups, like you have a vegetables which are made into homemade tikkis, or you can have like a paneer and a vegetable crunch mixture. So you have a platter where you have the different kinds of, you have a nuts, you have paneer, you have vegetables. Even if you have one potato, you can. That itself is a good meal
Yeah.
and healthy options. So first of
So
all,
it's
find
basically
a
a
root cause and
multifaceted
then give
approach.
suggestion.
Yeah. So it's like basically a
Yes. Yeah.
multifaceted approach. If not this, then that. So we have
Yes.
various options in the healthy and the nutritious range of food as well.
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Thank you,
Correct. So
Varsha.
we call it
Thank
as
you.
multidisciplinary.
Yeah.
We call it as multidisciplinary over here
Yeah,
in
I
our
think I
city.
like that. That makes the 10-pronged approach that you suggested, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that makes it very easy and engaging to remember also. Thank you, Varsha. Thank you for speaking to us today on the study of the Lancet journal on World Obesity Day today, where India is sitting on an obesity curve. To read the full study and the findings of the study, you can visit our website, indianexpress.com. And you were watching this chat with Varsha Gorey, Senior Clinical Dietitian, Apollo Hospitals, Navi Mumbai, on the official YouTube channel of Indian Express. I am Flora Swine, and thank you for the day.